2-minute business tip number 21. Risk versus reward. So you would not run across the M50 to pick up a €2 coin off the ground. But you'd probably be more tempted to run across the M50 to pick up a €500 note that's blown along the ground. And this is risk versus reward. The reward for you taking that risk is not good enough for a €2 coin, but some headbangers might risk it for a €500 payday. When it comes to supplying materials on your job, you need to be very careful. So if you're supplying materials, number one, you're responsible to the supplier for the payment of those materials. And number two, you're then responsible to the contractor for any defects within those materials. So if you're supplying materials, you need to make sure that you're getting rewarded and well rewarded for it. So what I would suggest is look at the pricing of your job and figure out which part of your job are you pricing purely on the basis of materials, and which part of your job are you pricing based purely on the labour. And is the risk worth the reward you're getting? So for example, for plumbers and also for electricians on certain end of things, the material cost is so expensive that you would be better off not providing materials for the 10% or 15% margin that you make on the supply of those materials. You would be better off not making it, because bear in mind, a lot of big contractors, they're limited companies, and they left a lot of small guys swinging. But the small guys were sole traders, and they were personally liable for the bills that they'd incurred as a result of doing the work for the bigger guys. So what I would suggest is, if you are supplying materials to contractors, maybe even let them deal directly with your contractor or with your supplier, but make a deal with your supplier that you're going to get a rebate. So let's say, for example, go down to your supplier and say, look, I'm going to bring a guy in, he's going to spend 100 grand, I want 3% rebate on that. And you don't even need to get that back in cash from the supplier. Whoop. You can get that 3% or 4%, whatever it is, back as a credit to your own account, which means you can then go in and get materials on account because you got a credit in there. And it's a much more risk-free way. It's a more risk-free way of supplying the materials for the sake of just making the 10% on it, and then something goes wrong, you're responsible for everything.